All right, everyone. Hello and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller. I'll be your yoga instructor today. So, this class is part of the Full Body Awakening series available through Wild Blue Yonder Media. So, make sure to find me on YouTube and follow that. And today we're going to be moving through a yin practice. So, it's a slower style of yoga. We're going to spend more time in each of the postures, and it's really going to help us ground into the body and specifically into our root chakra space. Even if you don't subscribe to the root chakra or the chakra system, that's okay. Really, this is going to be a great practice to help you stretch out, alleviate any tension or discomfort that may be present, and just feel really grounded and connected to your body moving into the rest of your day and week. So, as we move into practice, keep a couple notes here. It's always a good idea to check with your healthcare practitioner to make sure that yoga is right for you. Also, keep in mind that you want to be safe wherever you're practicing today. So make sure to take steps to do that. I give lots of cues and adjustments, but feel free to extend into postures or step back from them whenever you need. And I don't often cue water. So if and when you feel thirsty, of course, please feel free to step off your mat, grab that drink, and join us whenever you feel ready. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and come into a comfortable position. Since this is a yin class, you're welcome to lay down on your back in whatever comfortable position that may feel like for you, or you can be in a seat like I am here. So, take a moment and feel yourself settle into your seat or down onto your mat. If you're sitting, extend that crown of the head toward the top of the room. We'll inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up. Exhale as we drop them back and down. Inhale the shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Good. Finding a comfortable position here. Your hands can be on your legs. They can be somewhere on your body if you're laying down. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or perhaps just find an unmoving point and soften your gaze here today. In the yogic tradition, there are 7 chakras which reside in the subtle body and are interconnected with the physical body. The root chakra is important because it's the building block upon which the other chakras rest. It relates to the element of earth and all earthly things, like our bodies, health, survival, and our material existence. It is out of this chakra that we experience our need to stay alive, as well as the acceptance of discipline and limitations. Today, I invite you to feel into your root chakra. As you move through the postures, notice when you meet a limitation or when you come upon the mind to sorry. Today, I invite you to feel into your root chakra. As you move through the postures, notice when you meet a limitation or when you call upon the mind to stay disciplined. What does that feel like in your body? So settling in, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling your belly, lungs, and chest with air. And then slowly exhaling that breath back out. Taking a deep inhale, fill the belly, lungs, chest with air. And then slowly exhale that breath back out. Take another deep inhale here as you feel your belly expanding outward like a balloon. And then exhale that breath out as you draw the belly button in toward the spine. Inhale as you feel your torso expand, your collarbones gently lift. And then exhale as you feel your shoulders release down and away from your ears. Inhaling air in your nose, down your throat, filling the lungs. And then exhale as you squeeze that air out of the abdomen, out of the lungs, and up and out the throat and nose. Continue to breathe deeply here, inhaling and exhaling with intention, just noticing the movements of your breath here, allowing each exhale to ground you further into your seat or your mat, allowing yourself to become solid and still. If you notice your mind wandering off on a thinking adventure, that's okay. The moment you've noticed you've gone away, see if you can turn the attention back to your breath, back to focusing on your inhales and your exhales. If it feels right for you, perhaps incorporating a mantra to help you stay grounded and focused here today. Inhale, I am healthy. Exhale, I am safe. Inhale, I am healthy. Exhale, I am safe. Remaining here with your breath for just a few more moments in whatever way you choose. Take another deep inhale here, setting an intention or a purpose for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a deep inhale as you feel that intention with your heart and mind, and then exhale the breath out as you set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Lovely. If you're in a seated position on a block, go ahead and come down onto the mat. And if you are laying down, I invite you to make your way on up into a seated position. So we're going to dive right into our hips here today, grounding ourselves right into that root chakra space. So let's go ahead and start by bringing our left leg in front of us. So our shin is perpendicular to our body, and this left knee is out to the side. We're then going to take this right ankle and place it on the fleshy part of that right knee or that left knee there. So you notice as I come into this position, my right knee is pretty far away from my left foot. So a couple options, you can use blocks if you'd like underneath that knee to support that opening. You could roll up a pillow, you could use a bolster, a blanket, whatever you have available. So here we're coming into square pose. We're sitting up nice and tall, rooting into our sits bones. And if your body just does not sit in this position, no problem at all. Go ahead and come into your crisscross applesauce here. And you can start from this position. And we're still getting a stretch in the hip, but it may be more subtle. So as you're sitting here, you're welcome to stay up tall in either position. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you're welcome to exhale, hinge at the hips, lean forward with the heart center, and deepen that stretch in the right hip. Shoulders are shrugged down, spine is long. Tuck the chin so you're looking down toward the top of your mat here. Good. Hands can be on the legs or down at the sides. You can also use another block for extra support if that helps. Notice what feels right for you here. We'll be here for about 2 minutes, so taking a couple breaths. Notice if your mind has wandered off. And if it has, see if you can come back to your breath. Come back to being present with sensation. Notice too if you need to make adjustments with your body, removing props, adding props. Totally fine. The longer we're in a posture, the more our muscle fascia moves. And so the deeper we can often get into postures. But remembering not pushing ourselves further than we're ready to go. And when you're ready, inhale, go ahead and come on up into center. Uncross those legs, drop the soles of the feet down to the floor, lean back onto the hands. We'll windshield wipe the knees back and forth to release the glutes, the hips, and the low back. That's a pretty intense stretch here. So it is okay if it feels that way as you come out of it. And then when you're ready, coming back into neutral, switching onto that opposite side. So go ahead and bring that right leg down in front, shin perpendicular to the body, and then take that left ankle and place it on the fleshy part of the right knee. So again, I've got a pretty big gap between my knee and my ankle. So I'm going to use a block to start underneath that knee just to support the opening and more importantly, support my hip here. Now you can stay nice and tall and simply remain here. And if you're crisscross applesauce, simply switch the cross of your applesauce. That's a tongue twister. So sitting up nice and tall in whatever position you find yourself in. If it's accessible, you're welcome to hinge at the hips, gently lean forward here. Chest leading, so we keep that back nice and long. Again, chin is slightly tucked, so we're long through our neck, getting that great move of energy from the root chakra all the way up to the crown of the head. Shoulders are shrugged down. Find a comfortable position for your hands. Again, it can be on the body, off to the sides, in front of you, or you could use an additional prop under the hands. It's whatever feels right for you. This is your practice. And then again, we're going to be here for about 2 minutes. So settling into the breath, settling into sensation. And in looking at my notes, I realized I misspoke earlier. This is not square pose. This is actually fire log pose, but it kind of looks like a square, the square that you create when you're creating a campfire. Inhale, let's go ahead and come up into center. Gently uncross the legs here, move props out of the way, plant the soles of the feet onto the floor, lean back onto the hands. And again, we'll windshield wipe those knees back and forth, just releasing our glutes, hips, low back here. Yeah. All right, when you feel ready, let's go ahead and roll onto the hands and knees here. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the hips, come into a down dog. Take a nice deep inhale. Let it go. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, look up between the hands. Baby step your feet to the top of the mat. Come right into a halfway lift. Knees slightly bent. Back is nice and flat. Shoulders shrugged down. Hands are on thighs or shins. Gaze is toward the floor. Take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, sink into your forward fold. Tuck the chin, look between the legs. Allow the arms to hang limp. Before inhale, bend the knees. Reverse swan dive as you sweep your arms wide and up. And then exhale, coming right into heart center. Excellent. So our next pose is one that we don't always associate with our root chakra. It's called mountain pose, but it is one that helps us ground and really root down into this sense of stability, safety, and solidity. All right. So we want to bring our feet so they're about hip width distance apart, and we'll start by rolling back and forth. So it's heel to toes, toes to heels, just rolling on our feet. We don't often spend a lot of time really grounding into the feet here. So doing this really helps set up that firm foundation, and it wakes up all four corners of the feet here. So coming back into stillness, again, feet are hip width distance apart. Feel yourself ground down into all four corners of your feet. Knees are slightly bent. Draw up on the thighs. Gently tuck the tailbone, engage the core. Reach through the crown of the head. So imagine lengthening through the spine as if you're trying to be tall enough to get on a roller coaster at a theme park. Shoulders are shrugged down and gently reaching toward one another. So chest is open. Arms are nice and open here. Good. You're welcome to close the eyes if you want. If that is too challenging for the balance today, find an unmoving point and soften your gaze. Again, we're going to be here for about 2 minutes. And what feels like standing at first is not going to feel like standing soon. So as you breathe here, I invite you to imagine breathing in through the soles of your feet, along your spine, all the way up and out through the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, draw that air in through the crown of the head, down the spine, and then all the way out the feet. Continue breathing in this way, allowing the breath to move up and down your body. And notice that grounding sensation that happens. As you stand here, imagine if someone were to come and push you on the shoulder, you would not move, for you are so grounded. You are rooted to the spot. Breathing. Notice how the body gently sways as you maintain your balance here. Let's take another deep inhale. Exhale the breath out. Great work. On the next inhale, sweep your arms tall, reach up toward the sky. Exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold or dangling pose here. So, tucking the chin, look back between the head. The arms can hang limp. You can palm the mat or bring pinkies to opposite crooks of the elbows. We're leaning forward onto the front 2/3 of the feet here. Knees remain slightly bent always. And we're reaching through the crown of the head, really feeling that lengthening through the spine here. Now, we might not associate this with our root chakra, but really having that center of mass here in our root chakra space is what helps us maintain our balance in this topsy-turvy position. So, wherever you find yourself, taking a couple breaths here. We're here for a minute total, and we are already part of the way through that. Breathing deeply. Another deep inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands on the mat, very gently step back onto the knees here, coming down to the mat. And then let's go ahead and sink back into a child's pose. Elongate the arms, forehead comes down to the floor. Now, if your forehead does not reach, you can always rest your head on your forearms, on stacked fists. You can also use props like blocks, a blanket, a bolster to rest your forehead down onto. We're going for some ease here. We're opening up our hips very gently. We're stretching our back, and we're coming into a space of humility and welcoming. So as you sit back onto your heels, really feel your root chakra here reaching down toward the floor, that hip space, that perineum space in your body. Notice the sense of groundedness and ease that starts to rise up as we rest in this very nascent position. Tuning into the breath once again, noticing sensations that come as you breathe. Let's take another deep breath here, nice and full. Releasing it when you're ready. On your next inhale, go ahead and come up onto your hands and knees. We're going to get ready for frog pose here. I'm going to turn at an angle so you can kind of see the movements of the body a little bit more clearly. So hands are beneath the shoulders, knees are beneath the hips. To work ourselves into this posture without the support of a bolster, we're going to start to just gently step our knees out to the side, widening our stance. Now, as we widen our stance, go ahead and turn your feet so the toes are facing outward. Yeah, I'm going to move that block so you can see my foot a little bit easier. Okay. So it's like you're going to do a breaststroke kick. Inside of the foot is down toward the floor. If that is not accessible, tops of the feet can remain on the floor. So as you continue to work yourself out, find your way into a position that feels tenable for you. You can remain on the hands. You can use a block or other steady support to come further down, or you can lower all the way down onto the mat. As we come into this posture, we're really opening up our hips here. We're feeling a pull through the inside of our thighs, and this can be really intense. So we want to shrug the shoulders down, lengthen through the spine here, find softness in the face and the neck, and take a couple deep breaths here as we work ourselves into this externally rotated position. Couple breaths, 2 minutes total. When you're ready, inhale your way back up onto your hands if you're not already there, and then start to gently step your knees back and forth, coming so they're beneath the hips once again. Go ahead and wiggle or sway those hips from side to side here, getting a release for the outside of the hip. We just did an amazing amount of stretching in there, so giving your body the chance to recover. And then when you feel ready, we're going to go ahead and come on down onto our backs. If you need to towel off, grab a drink of water, put on socks, now is the moment to do so. We will not sit up for the rest of our practice, okay? So we're going to go ahead and come right on down onto our backs. We'll tuck our knees into our chest for a moment, give ourselves a little squeeze for our practice. Very well done. And then we'll drop those soles of the feet down to the floor. For this final part of our yin practice, we're going to combine our final relaxation with recline bound angle. So if you would like, you're welcome to bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to fall open wide. This is a very gentle hip opener. It's kind of counter to what we just did because now we're allowing gravity to pull us in the opposite direction. Couple options here. You can use blocks or other props beneath the knees to support that opening. You can also skip this entirely and simply have the soles on your feet, soles of the feet on the floor, knees up in little mountains. You could have one knee out and extend the opposite leg for a fallen tree. You could extend both legs for traditional finer relaxation. Notice what feels right for your body here today. You're also welcome to lay on your side or on your belly, or you can return to a seated position if you'd like and treat this final part as a seated meditation. It's up to you. But whatever you choose to do, just settling into this position and then tuning into the breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow your breath is moving, how deep or shallow it's become. Noticing the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales. Feeling into the rise and fall of your belly, the rise and fall of your chest, allowing yourself to tune into sensation, to be fully present with your breath here, and that sense of groundedness here on your mat or in your seat. Feel yourself leaning back, slowly sinking deeper and deeper into this space. If your mind wanders off, it's okay. Simply notice and bring it back. If it's helpful, come back to the mantra we used at the beginning of practice. Inhale, I am healthy. Exhale, I am safe. Inhale, I am healthy. Exhale, I am safe. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know that I'm watching the time and I most certainly respect yours, and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest here with your breath. The practice of mindfulness, our capacity to dwell in the present moment, is the best way to be with our suffering without being overwhelmed by it. With awareness of our in breath and our out breath, we generate the energy of mindfulness and take care of our suffering by recognizing, accepting, and embracing it tenderly. Within mindfulness, we're no longer afraid of pain, and we can generate the energy of understanding and compassion that heals and brings us happiness, both to ourselves and to others. Bringing your attention back to this space, taking a deep inhale through your nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air, and slowly exhaling the breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move arms and legs, gently waking your body up. And when it feels right for you, gently rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a deep inhale here as you make your way on up into a seated position, and we close out our practice together today. So finding your comfortable seat, rooting into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. We inhale as the shoulders draw forward and up, and then exhale as they come back and down. Hands find a comfortable position, whether on your knees, in your lap, or at heart center. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth, and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including yoga. Thank you all so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this full body awakening practice here with Wild Blue Yonder Media. I'm so glad that you joined me. Again, my name is Alexis Miller. You'll find all kinds of practices on my channel, so make sure to like, subscribe, and share with anyone you think who may have joined this practice. I want to thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next practice. Bye.